Hello and welcome back to the next episode of Rotherham Real Talks. So today's guest, we've got Ruth on from Rotherham Hospice. Afternoon, Ruth, and how are we doing?
Afternoon, Daryl. I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm not too bad, thank you. And the weather's been crazy at the moment. It doesn't know what it wants to do, does it? It's one minute it's red hot, and next minute it's chucking it down.
Yeah, and we've been really lucky actually because we've had some pretty big events on recently, and we've been quite fortunate with the weather.
Yes. So do you want to introduce yourself and what your role is down at Rotherham Hospice, and then give a bit of a background of for those that don't know what sort of services and care that you guys provide up there?
Yeah, of course. So obviously, my name's Ruth Wallbank, and I am head of fundraising here at Rotherham Hospice, which means I have the amazing job of working with all our local community, our corporate supporters, and anyone who wants to take part in any events all across Rotherham and our community. And as a hospice, we have been here now. This is our 29th year as a hospice. So we'll be celebrating 30th birthday next year. We now have 14 beds here in the inpatient unit upstairs. That means we have 14 people staying with us at any one time. As well as that, we also look after probably about 250 people in the community each and every week in their own homes. Quite a lot of the misconception with the hospice is everyone just thinks it's all about end of life, and it's really not. Obviously, there is end of life, and we do support families through all that emotional hard time. But we provide things like we have physiotherapists and occupational therapists, we have hairdressers, we have beauticians, we've got a lovely salon upstairs. We run different counselling services for anyone who may have suffered loss at the hospice, right from children. So we have our sunbeams, where we support children from around about 4 years old up to 18. And then we have our good grief cafes where husbands, wives, relatives will come along and meet people who are in a similar circumstances and have chat through their feelings and emotions. We also have cafes here, so we've got a couple of chaps now who've lost their wives around about a similar time, and they now come and have Sunday lunch together every week at the
Oh, wow.
cafe in the hospice. So, and then also sort of volunteering as well for us. So it's a really amazing space. It's a happy place where sad things happen. It's the best way to describe it.
Yes. So I think well, that what you've jumped ahead a little bit, and that was one of my next questions was what's the misunderstanding really of as soon as someone says hospice, they automatically go to clinical, and it's like a hospital and people go there to die and etc., which obviously there's an element of that. But I've been down there, and the facilities, it's amazing what you guys do down there. And you don't get that feeling as you walk in. It's not like walking into a hospital or a clinic. It's such a welcoming feel, and definitely a community and a family that's in there, and you can
Exactly
see that.
that. Exactly that. We're trying to create a home from home feeling, even to things like the soft furnishings.
Yeah.
Our chief exec, who started a couple of years ago, the first thing he did was inject colour everywhere into the hospice. So there's dog treats on the entrance in reception. So even further family members come along. There's fresh flowers, there's colour, there's just gorgeous smells everywhere. So it really is nothing like what people expect it to be.
No, I was quite surprised when I came in, and so I was like, oh, it's lovely in here.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a
so
special
yeah,
place to work.
amazing place. Um, without naming any names, are you able to like share a recent story that's because I know a couple of stories because I've met you a couple of times now, and then other members and Sophie and stuff down at the hospice. I've heard the stories, but it's nice to hear it again for the listeners, because you guys definitely do go above and beyond for your patients and giving them the opportunity to do something that they probably wouldn't be able to do, especially if it is end of life care. Because I know Sophie shared a story with me not so long back about someone unfortunately were terminally ill, and they were going to miss their daughter's wedding.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So they had the wedding
And
here.
then yeah, without, you do loads of stuff like this to capture those memories and still involve that member of staff member of staff, the patients while they're still here, just so the family still get that memories. I know there's so many stories that you could say, but is there any like big ones that stand out for you that you can massively see that made a big impact on that family and created that forever memory for them?
Do you know, it's so different for so many different families because since I've worked here, I've seen weddings literally pulled together within an hour's notice. And it's given the families the chance to spend that. It might even be something as simple as their pet visiting and sitting in the sunshine with their friends, which I saw a few weeks ago, a lady who had, so she wanted to be in the sunshine. So a bed was pushed out onto the balcony and her friends came and the dog, and they just sat in the afternoon, they just sat in the sun all afternoon and watch the world go by. And that's a really special memory that wouldn't. I had someone come along who said that the friend had been in hospital for a couple of weeks and then they came into hospice to visit her and she said she had her hair done. She said, and I can't explain to her, and she just looked so much better. She said, and I know that sounds crazy. She said, but she just looked so much better from having her hair done and just having that bit of pampering. So
Yeah.
it's just those extra details. That's what every day something extraordinary goes on somewhere in the hospice, and all the staff, from the staff who are cleaning, who are constantly cleaning to make sure the hospice looks amazing, to the cafe staff that cook meals and nothing's too much trouble, they that to our volunteers that deliver the meals, the care team that can spot that families need a bit of time and will take them away and just give them a cuddle and take care of them.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing special atmosphere that you can't sum up. There's continuously little things going on all the time. I've seen weddings coming down, a whole wedding party coming down to visit their grandma. Like I said, the dogs are in all the time. We have literally got dogs running around barking. They're out in the garden. They'll take them out for a walk and then bring them back in. I've got two dogs, so that always kind of sticks with
Yeah.
me. Because I think, gosh, what would I? Yeah, I'd want to know that the dogs could come and see me. That they're like my
Yeah,
fur
because they
babies.
are part of the family.
Yeah, so exactly that. So it's all the different things, children that come in that then can go off and be with staff who can look after them whilst their families are grieving. So
Yeah.
it's so special to it. Yeah,
No,
really
it's
lovely.
the stories I've heard is amazing, and it's quite clear that you do everything physically possible to make something happen. If it can be done, then it will be done.
And not only in the hospice as well, Holly, who's our patient extraordinaire, so she organises lots of events for. On Mother's Day, she went round hand delivering tea, afternoon tea in boxes so families could still share it. They couldn't, they didn't come to the hospice, but they didn't miss out. She took the treats to them.
No, which is like you say, it'd be things that people don't really think goes on in a hospice, but it's those things that make massive differences, and it creates those lasting memories for the families.
Exactly that. Exactly that. It gives them, and it gives. I always feel that when they come into the hospice, it gives the families, especially if they've been looking for them after at home, it gives them a chance to be the family again rather than the carers,
Yeah,
which often is the case. It gives them a chance to be their husband, their wife, their daughter,
yeah,
rather than having to think about all the things that need going. And it just gives them that breathing space
yeah,
to spend
definitely.
time with the loved ones.
Yeah, and I suppose that's quite emotionally powerful as well when you see somebody that maybe has been looking after mum and dad, or for whatever reason putting extra strains on their life, and that
It's
the
yeah.
weight's lifted off their shoulders.
I talked to a lady recently who said that she'd been looking after her husband at home, and he'd stopped because they don't. He wanted to come downstairs every day because he didn't want to stay in bed, but
Yeah.
they only got an upstairs toilet. She said so he stopped drinking through the day, so he didn't have to go upstairs to the
Mm.
toilet. So she said so he came into the hospice. She says, and I had another 3 weeks with him because he could eat and drink and spend, and that's just little
Yeah.
things that you don't even think about.
No, that
So
makes sense.
a
Yeah.
real difference.
Yeah. Right, so let's change the atmosphere. So fundraising, because obviously you're head of fundraising. So you do some amazing events, and I know you've recently done the Midnight Walk, and you've got the Feather Appeal happening very soon.
Yep,
So do you
in
want
August.
to, and a number of others? Yeah, there's always something going on. So do you want to just highlight what is going on and how people can get involved? What is actually going on, because there's a number of things always happening.
It's huge amounts. So we are really lucky because We organise our own events. So we have our midnight walk, which has just taken place, and we had over 1,000 people register. We left from New York Stadium, everyone wearing bunny ears. They're making their way across Rotherham for the 10K. Was a sight that will never, ever leave me. It was amazing just to see. We've just gone over £92,000 raised, and it's still coming
Wow.
in. So I'm hoping to announce a big total in July sometime. We've got our feather appeal, so people can make a donation. We're asking for a suggested donation of £40 to donate for a feather. So these feathers are being handcrafted by the apprentices over at MTL. They're providing all that for us free of charge. It's sponsored by AES seals, so that's covering all the rest, any costs that are incurred. And the feathers are beautiful, so they're stainless steel, and they will be on display for 2 weeks at Wentworth Woodhouse from the 9th of August.
Yeah.
You can dedicate your feather, get a little hand engraved tag that you can hang onto the feather with your loved one's name on, and you can go and visit it for the 2 weeks. It's at Wentworth, and then afterwards everyone gets their feathers to take home and keep forever as a keepsake. So whether you pop it in your garden, whether you have it in your house, Vicky, who works here, is going to have hers chopped down and popped into a frame in memory of her husband Steve.
Right.
So that's another way. We've got our ball in September. So on the 27th of September, we'll be at Magna. We've got Paul Pashley, we've got Blue Crew singing, we've got some dancers. So she'll not mind me telling you, the dance group that we've got performing, her mum actually passed away at the hospice, I think about 14 years ago. So obviously it's a big thing that they're holding their own dance show a couple of weeks beforehand, where all the proceeds are for Rotherham Hospice.
Wow.
So Kate is doing it in memory of her mum, Sue, who was a singer and had records playing throughout. Another way, she had records playing throughout the hospice when she were in, and she had for quite a considerable amount of time. And Kate was only quite young. And she said it were things like she just didn't want to leave her mum. She said, I wanted my mum to be at home. She said, so they just used to pull a bed out for me, switch the stars on the ceiling. She said, just stay to sleep with my mum all night. So that's just ways. But yeah, Kate and her dance group are performing for us at the ball. We are launching a new glow walk for children. So that's on the 1st of November at Manvers. That's like a mini midnight walk, but for children and dogs, so people can bring their animals with them. And that, so they'll walk around Manvers Lake, and we'll have trick-or-treat stations and things going on.
All right, okay.
Next year, we are launching our Festival of Holy. So we're hoping to hold a colour dash on Herringthorpe Valley playing fields, just down the road from the hospice in March of next year. What else have we got going on? Skydives. So we've got a skydive in October, another one in March. In a couple of weeks' time, we are taking part in the Acorn Amble, which sees a group of over 100 walkers get dropped off at Castleton and make their way back to the Acorn pub at Burn Cross. It is in Sheffield.
Right, okay.
I don't know because I walked it. And they're raising money for us. In a couple of weeks' time, we're at Manvers again. So they've got a Waves Festival, and we have our own music festival on the Sunday, Rather Live, where we've got some bands performing for us. On Friday, we've got Legends Night with the legendary Kev Johnson. So we've got John Brecon will be there, and Ronnie Moore, and we'll be at New York Stadium. The week after a golf day, the list is endless. We're so lucky that the community really embrace and support what we do. As a hospice, we need to raise £10 million this year just to keep going. Just as a regular year, and we will get around about £4 million funded from the government. So the rest will come through fundraising and legacies and our lottery and our retail. So it's a huge amount of money so that we come together as a community.
Yeah, just to operate.
Yeah.
No, it's because you've got a massive task to raise £6 million every year as a minimum.
And that's it. And the cost will that's just that we know the cost will go up. Lots and lots of more businesses,
materials and labour and
and that's it. Heating, lighting, all the things that for the businesses, national insurance, the living wage, all this impacts on the running costs of the hospice. So each year that figure will only rise.
Yeah. So massive amount of stuff going on. So I'm sure is all that on your website and it gets updated regular?
Yeah, it's all on there, and we'll keep continuing to update. And as we find things out, with Emily, who's our comms marketing manager, she works 7 days a week. She's always putting things out there, sharing what supporters are doing for us. Yeah. We're literally bombarded with messages all the time with things that's going on. She is amazing.
Yeah. No, I see everything all over the place on social medias and email campaigns, and I missed out on the memory walk this year, but we did it last year, and it was amazing. it's crazy when you've got a group of, I think there was about 900 last year, so you
Yeah,
smashed it this year with over 1,000. Um, a group of 900 ish to 1,000 people all setting off for a walk all at the same time is an atmosphere that especially at midnight. um,
yeah,
it's amazing.
yeah. It was really special to watch, and I think obviously you're so busy on the night. My lasting memories is taking Clifton, our mascot. We've got a new mascot, obviously Clifton,
Yeah,
to the front to help lead the warm up, and just watching all the people, all the bunny ears,
yeah,
and everyone's arms waving to that, and it were like, oh, just look,
yeah. No,
and then it took them.
it was great.
We timed them, and it took them because we had chip timing this year, which we'll be doing again.
Yeah,
It took everyone 4 minutes to get over the line. There were that many people
there were that
taking
many
part.
people. Wow.
Yeah, so really good atmosphere, really
No,
good, and
yeah, it was
just
brilliant last year.
yeah, and see so many people coming together and remembering their loved ones in a celebratory way.
Yeah.
A really uplifting night.
No, yeah, I've seen all the pictures and it looked fantastic. And unfortunately, I were unavailable this year, but yeah.
Yeah. 20th of June next year. It's already
But
here,
I'll
booked in.
stick it in the diary already, so I know. Yeah, because I missed out. It's like, oh no, it's too late. I can't do it now. It's like, oh well. Um, so we've touched on this a little bit then. So challenges as a hospice. Obviously, a massive challenge is raising the funds to just keep doing what you guys are doing. Other than cash flow, is there any other challenges that stick out to you?
We always look on the lookout for volunteers to help us out at event, especially with the events, because as a fundraising team, we're only quite small. We have lots of things going on all the time. So the more volunteers we can have that can help us out with these things, we can have a bigger, wider presence across the borough. We're always looking for people to help with tin collecting and getting involved. You can volunteer at the hospice, in the gardens. That's a really good way that can support us. There's always challenges with hospice. There's lots of things going on. We've already realised and done some work and study into it that the hospice, there is going to be a need for us to be 30 beds in the future, because obviously the population's growing, where everyone's living longer. There's more need for us. So we've got a 5-year strategy that's looking to try and how we can work with that to make sure that we can provide as much support as needed for the community.
Yeah. So is that looking for new premises potentially, or extending what? Are we not
It's
quite sure
we're
yet?
not quite sure yet. There's lots of different things that our chief exec Matt is busy working with our trustees and our
Yeah,
SLT and looking at all different options of what might be needed.
how we can do it.
Parking, obviously, parking at the hospice. We're always struggling for parking here as well.
Yeah,
So but we're all looking at all different available avenues really at this point.
yeah. And I think this is the inspiration side of it. So it's quite an easy question for you. What keeps you driving forward and motivated to obviously sometimes it's obviously there's sad times and it'll be quite emotional in there sometimes, but the differences I'm guessing that you can see, is that what keeps you going? And because I can imagine it's quite an emotional roller coaster every day.
I always say to anyone, I have the best job in the world because I get to go out and meet lots of different people who are doing lots of amazing things for us, like jumping out of planes and walking,
Yeah.
climbing mountains, and and raising money. But then I get to come back and see every day that I'm in the hospice firsthand exactly the difference that their support makes to all the families, the stories that you hear, just to go out and sit and have a coffee with some people sometimes. It really does. In fact, Rotherham Hospice is the reason I work in charity. I
Okay.
actually had support from the hospice, oh gosh, 20, well, no, actually 28 years ago. So my mum died, and I decided, because my mum had died, I didn't want any, we were getting married and I didn't want anybody to get wedded. So I went away to get married. And whilst there, my stepdad was diagnosed with terminal bowel cancer and rushed to hospital with peritonitis.
Right.
So Rotherham Hospice entered our lives at that point and supported us for the next 18 months, 20 months while we took care of George at home. He came in and had respite care for a couple of times while we managed to get on holiday. And then actually, when I was 8 months pregnant with our eldest, they helped us hold George's hand and say goodbye here at the hospice. So that's been the reason that went into charity. it's been a real, sorry, thing. It's been a real personal. That's the reason I went into charity. And then a couple of years later, my dad was diagnosed with bowel cancer as well. So they helped us care for my dad at home. So yeah, I know exactly the difference the hospice makes to people.
Yeah, because you've had that personal hand experience with it.
And that's it. And so you can see,
I suppose that helps to connect with the people that are in there at the time, and you've got that lived experience that you can share with them.
You know exactly when you walk into the hospice, you can see families are at their rawest, and that's it. And the hospice just wraps a blanket around the whole family and takes care of you, and even make sure that I remember still at that time I'm saying, because you don't ever want to leave them, you never want to leave the room, and they were like, we will sit with him, go and eat a sandwich, there's a sandwich waiting for you there, we will bring you if we need to. And they did. But that's it, it's all those things, they sit with them while you can go outside and get a bit of fresh air, and exactly that. It's you never feel that anyone can look after them as well as you can, but here they look after them so much better. And everyone, they literally look after everyone that comes in.
So what's the next big fundraising activity that I'll just say? We've got the feather appeals very soon, and then is is that the ball after that?
Yeah, the ball on the 27th of September, then the spooky glow neon walk on the 1st of November. We'll be launching Light Up a Life in December. So that's again where people can remember their loved ones. And then we'll be going on to Christmas, Christmas appeals and things. There's lots of different ways. We're always looking at different ways to get involved with people. Obviously, this year we've got the fantastic Rotherham United shirt sponsorship again.
Yeah.
So on the Rotherham United, the kit came out on Monday, the home kit.
Yeah, it looks great.
So and we can't wait to see the branding and we'll be appearing at some of the matches and bucket collecting there. They'll be helping us, push some of the things that we've got going on. Johnny and the community team of Fab there, they're going to get involved with our Christmas tree recycling. So if anyone wants to get involved with this Christmas tree recycling, we're all looking for lots of people with men's and vans and volunteers who might want to come along. There's lots of ways to get involved. Our schools will be doing the reindeer run. So last year we had 20 schools take part in it. We had thousands of children with antlers on. So we're launching that again soon and asking schools to get involved in that. So many ways to support us.
Yeah, so is there, obviously on the website then, is there there's a designated book on and raise your interest, and you can get booked onto slots and fill the forms and stuff out?
Yeah, there's everything's on the website, and if it's not, just drop the fundraising team an email and we will be in touch. If you've got anything going on that you want the hospice to be part of, drop us a line and we'll be there. If you've got any ideas of events, again, get in touch. We will try our best to sort them out.
Yeah. So I'll make sure that we've got all your social media and your website links within the show notes, so everyone can get hold of you if they need to. And I suppose, is that the best way that people can make donations, even if they're not going to be fundraising and they would like to? Because I know you do the lottery, and I think
so we've got lottery, we've got shops.
Different options. Yeah. And the shops are forever growing. Every time I go out, I see another one announced and popped up. One's just popped up in Swinton near me.
Yeah, and cafes, we've got two standalone cafes now. So there's all different ways, from donating your clothing to making a donation online. Pop into the hospice if you want. If you can't get out, we'll come and see you. That's the beauty of being a local hospice, community charity. We can get out to you, and we really embrace the support that we get and try to make it as easy as we can for people to get to donate to us.
Yeah, no, it's you are involved in so many different areas, and like I say, you can't go anywhere really with it. Because I was playing golf at Waterfront last weekend, and your signs up there. It's like, oh, they've got that hole sponsored by was it the captain's? What was it? It was one of the hole sponsors. Captain.
We've got. That's it.
Everywhere you go, you see your branding somewhere along the lines, because someone's either supporting you or raising money for something. Or it's amazing to see, because it's scattered all over. It doesn't matter which part of Rotherham you go to. There's an element everywhere, which is
and I think as well, I've lived in Rotherham all my life. It's very rare now that you'll speak to somebody that has not been touched by the hospice, or known someone who's been supported.
Definitely.
And that's what I mean. It's, we've nearly been here for 30 years. We need to make sure we're about for another 30 years and longer and bigger and better and doing more, more of what we're doing with support. I think last year, looking at our figures, 2,100 people had support from us
Wow.
in one way or another. So it's, and it's that figure is growing year on year on year.
Yeah. So touching on that one then, so you are going to be turning at the big 3-0 next year. I'm sure planning has already started of what you are going to do. Are you allowed to give us any behind the scenes sneak peek of
So
what you're planning
we are, well, obviously,
without getting told off?
yeah, well, there might be some sneaky new bits of merch coming out that will be hot collector's items.
Okay.
Obviously, there'll be a 30th anniversary ball for us next year. That's already planned in. We're looking at all different things. We're perhaps asking people to do 30 things before we're 30. Can they raise
Right, okay.
£30? So it's, yeah, we've got lots of things
Lots
that
of
will be,
ideas going around the
yeah,
birthday.
yeah. Literally, we're just a bit busy getting it all in place.
No, that sounds good. Yeah, the 30 things before I'm 30, that sounds like a good one because that could be literally anything.
Exactly that. Yeah, that's so
And a bit of
fitting
fun.
for
Yeah.
came up with that.
Yeah, that
So
sounds like a good one. So to wrap up, what does community mean to you personally? The word
it
community.
meant so the word community, I always community, especially fundraising, it's a bit like planting seeds and it growing. So we might have someone who has been in the hospice who then their partner works in the local community, so their business supports us and their child's school will get involved, and then their auntie might do a run for us, and the local nursery then has a non-uniform day for us. It's the community coming together, and for what I always say, trying to raise that amount of money is a huge undertaking that we can't possibly get from one place, and it's
Yep.
everyone places a tiny individual jigsaw piece, and then together it just forms an amazing picture that is Rotherham Hospice. And that's what a community is. It's everyone doing their bit, from someone who donates £10 a month to the lottery to someone who raises £1,000 at a midnight walk.
Yeah.
Everyone does their own little piece of it. We can't do it without the community.
Yeah, and I think I've seen it firsthand when I've raised money in the past and I've got involved with some of the other things. And I know the business link that we run supports, and yeah, we were down there with a big check last year. I know it's not massive amounts of money that we've raised, but all them it
That's
all
it.
adds up because yeah, 6 million quid a year just to keep going, even if
Yeah.
it is £10 here, £10 there, or a couple of hundred quid.
And that's what I
It
mean.
soon adds up.
It's yeah, and that's it. And it doesn't matter how much people raise, it's the fact that they want to get
They're
involved.
trying to, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I can't let the interview go on without mentioning John Brecken, who's our ambassador, who obviously started the Midnight Walk all those years ago. John does an amazing amount of things for us at the hospice. Lots of things that nobody even sees happening underneath. He's been, he's practically in most days doing things with us. He's been
Yeah.
in today planning how we're going to do a thank you for everyone for the Midnight Walk. We couldn't do what we do without John.
Oh,
He literally opens doors for us. We are
yeah.
super, super grateful.
No, he's an amazing guy. So I think the biggest thing then is from the listener's point of view, if for whatever reason they're unaware of what the services and stuff that's provided down at the hospice, and they've been in that fortunate position where they've not had to. I know that sounds horrible, but they've not been touched by the hospice. I think it's the biggest thing that I wanted to get out on this podcast is to highlight the good things that are happening in and across Rotherham, and the hospice is the heart of it. Because unfortunately, people pass away, and that care needs to be provided. And like you said, for almost 30 years, it's been such the centre of Rotherham for everybody. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. There's a lot of memories, and obviously over 30, almost 30 years, that you've touched a lot of lives and had that massive impact across the borough. And I don't know where I'm going with that really, but it's just yeah, it's an amazing organisation, and yeah, it's the stuff that you do is phenomenal, and obviously it is life changing, and yeah, the community behind
It's
it is
huge.
huge.
I think probably until you've had to use a hospice, you don't realise
Yeah,
how You don't realise how much it is, and that's it. But for some people, their loved one may only be in the hospice for 24 hours, but they
Yeah,
the need that the difference it is made to them in that 24 hours, they would then really look that people want to come back and support us and make sure that we're about for the next. So it is, you know, for some people, it might be years and years worth of support. For us, it's only short term. We are trying to look at how we work with people for longer and get that introduction into their lives. So it's not a scary place when that time comes, because our
yeah,
staff specialise and are, you know, and are used to dealing with that and talk, you know, and speaking to people in how they'll understand things and answering those questions that you are so scared to ask. The staff are there for them, and it's just making sure that people know that we're there. So quite a lot of our team is being out there in the community and being out and about as much as we can, and inviting people into the hospice so they can see exactly what it is that we do and realise that actually it is a pretty fantastic place.
no, it is an amazing building. Right, so I think we'll leave it on that note because I could ramble on for ages about it, and I know you could, Ruth. But
Just
there's yeah, the stuff that you do is fantastic, and if anyone's wanting to get involved and get in and support you, whether that's giving time to volunteer to help support some of the events that's going on, or donating, or getting sponsorship, or definitely I'd be looking out for the 30 before 30. That sounds like that could be a fun one. Uh, I'll get all the stuff into the show notes so people can know who to reach out to and where when things are coming up. And I'll get some dates off you at the end of, and I can stick them in the show notes as well. So
brilliant.
before we wrap up, is there anything that I should have asked you that I've not asked you? Just so we're not missing
Um,
anything, or you thought I might have
no,
asked you.
uh, no, I don't think there is.
We've
I just
covered
want to,
everything.
yeah, I just want to say a thank you to everyone out there for their support in any way, shape, or form that they've done as a community and as from Rotherham. It is amazing. Thank you from being at the Millermen to being at golf days to throwing yourselves out of planes to walking around the streets at midnight in flashing bunny ears. We are super grateful, and it's can't wait to see you at the next events.
Yeah, I know. So from Rotherham back to you then, but thank you to you and your team, everyone down there. That you've got a fantastic members of staff, and yeah, thank you very much for all the hard work that you guys do day in day out to make them memories for the families.
You know
Um,
what? It doesn't feel like work. It's a privilege. It's always a privilege and an honour to come in here every day.
yeah, and then for anyone that hasn't been down to the hospice, definitely if you do get a chance, go in and have a visit, go have a coffee. You'll be surprised down there, and it's not a scary place. It is a lovely building, and the staff are amazing.
And the buns and muffins are
Yes.
just gorgeous and freshly made every day by the kitchen staff.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing stuff. So they're fattening us all up ready with the
Listen,
treats.
I'm gonna have to start walking to work wearing the mascot costume soon if I don't stop eating.
All the buns.
Yeah, it's they are lovely. That's it. It's not nice
So
treats.
it's worth a visit just for a bun.
Definitely. Yeah, we always like to treat people. John's been in for a strawberry muffin today.
Brilliant. Says it all.
Yeah,
Right. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, Ruth.
thank you.
It's been an honour to have you on. And then we will see you all on the next one. If anyone wants to get in touch with the hospice, all the information will be in the show notes. And I'm sure I'm looking forward to seeing everything else that's coming on in later on in the year and beyond. So thank you for listening, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you on the next one.
Thank you.